Hello, this LP3 training video is for the loan register transactions. To get to the loan register, you click on today's business. Loan register transaction types. A few of the most common would be a new loan. So somebody who has not borrowed before will have a new loan issued. Former borrower, so somebody who has paid off at one point in time and we issue them a new loan. That's a transaction type. No cash renewal, so somebody who has to pay to refinance, they don't get cash back, so that's why it's a no cash. They don't get cash back. A borrower renew, so that's somebody who has a loan right now and maybe they receive money to refinance into a new loan. And then an IF for in full payoff. And if you want to see the other transaction types, which we'll briefly touch on too, you just click on the help button in the loan register at the bottom, take you to our training website, and go down a little bit and you'll see the transaction types here. So you have BINS, ZFL, PKMO all the way through. So whether it's new loan, reverse contract, payment check. So if you're in, let me go ahead and close this. If you are in the loan register and you see transaction types that you do not know what it means, you can go to the help button and you can see what that transaction type means. So let's go ahead and go in, let's create a new loan so that we have a new loan transaction type in here. In order to create a new loan, two-step process. First, you click on create account and you have to take an application. So let's just do the minimal requirements for moving forward into either a credit bureau or to create a loan, and that's the items in red. I'm going to put in some information here that's not necessarily true for demo purposes. All right, items in red have been filled out. First name, last name, social, birth date, street, name, number, city, state. Going to go ahead and go into create an account to create a new loan. Okay. You can edit demographics, don't need to, say okay. Account with duplicate data has been found. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do. Live check, no. I'm going to go ahead and do $1,000 to this person in a term of 10 months. And continue. Print loan docs. I can click on the link, print out the loan docs, just say yes, they printed okay. Check number, checks are turned on. So I'm just going to move through this section. This is not how to do a loan. This is just transaction types. You can see them in the loan register today's business. So yes, say the check printed okay, new account complete. Okay, so I did a new loan on a person who had not had a loan previously. And you have to exit out and go back in today's business for that information to show up. And demonk, account number 9487, small loan, transaction type in for new loan, $1,000, term of 10 months. And you'll see that new loan 1 here. Amount finance increased, gross finance charge 500, and then you'll see your outstanding number of accounts if you compare it to prior to this. Net proceeds and check proceeds increased by $1,000. So that's a new loan. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a former borrower. And I did a search earlier to find an account that was a former borrower that I could issue a new loan to. And that account number was 8453. Search. So Beverly, right now, it's payoff of 0. So this means that right now there's not an active loan with anything that needs to be paid. This person can refinance and get $1,400. Their high credit's $1,400. They've had 14 loans, so they paid off their account. Right now it's available to do a new loan. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and renew this person. And MLA search, no. Change amount finance, no. Just leave it at the 1,400, term of 12. Live check, nope. So because we didn't make any changes, we didn't have to select anything else on the loan. Otherwise, if we chose yes for make changes, we could have changed the amount finance of the term. So you can click on here, print out the contracts for the person. Yes, say they printed okay, have check turned on, so it will also print out the check. Click on that, print it out, just say yes. And we have now this customer that was a FB, former borrower, we have now renewed. So let's go ahead and exit this record, exit search, go ahead and exit today's business, which is the loan register, and open it back up. We have Beverly, account number 8453, F for former borrower, $1,400, 12 months. And you can see your totals increase by the amount also. And then so does the count on FB for former borrower. So now let's look at NC, which is a no cash renewal, meaning that they have to pay to renew, that they don't receive cash to renew. So let me go ahead and exit out of here, search account, and I have already looked for an account that would fall under an NC, so they have to pay to renew. And Alberta, amount finance 700, term of 11 months, first time, it's fifth loan total. Right now, payoff's $810, and they're past due $96. We're going to go ahead and renew them into a new loan. They would have to pay to renew into a new loan. It's not the best criteria for that, but here's an example of it. So let's go ahead and renew the customer. No for MLA search. Change amount finance. Now we're going to keep it at the $700 and term of 11, but you could have raised their high credit maybe under certain situations, 800, 900, but then they wouldn't be a no cash renewal. They wouldn't be paying money. So let's know we're not going to change the amount. You must collect $110. So an NC, which is a no cash, meaning they're not receiving cash, means that they're always going to pay. So yes, I'm going to receive $110 from them. And then let's just say that they brought a check in, and that check number was 1,000. And okay. And you can view the contract, which we renewed the loan, so it's no longer the previous loan, it's a new loan. You can click on the contract, which is company information, customer information, APR, finance charge, amount finance total, go over all that with the customer, print, okay. And yes, the renew account, okay. All right, so we renewed this account. It was an NC for a no cash, meaning that they didn't receive cash, they had to pay. So let's exit this record. Let's go ahead and look at today's business. And then Alberta, it shows that payment and how it was divided up. And now we have account up on NC, which is a no cash. They didn't receive money, they had to pay to renew. And let's take a look at the next type of transaction, which is a BR for borrow renew. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. So this is somebody who is currently on a loan, and we're going to renew them, and they do get cash back. So let's search account, and I already looked up this account for a borrow renew, so 373.51. All right, so this Adrienne is $1,200 financed over 12 months. They currently have they've made several payments, currently have a payoff amount of $24.20. So this person could renew their loan and get cash back. So we're going to go ahead and do that. They've been making good payments. Now they want to take some more money out. So we're going to go ahead and renew the loan. No, don't want MLA search. And let's go ahead and keep it at the 1,200 so they can get their $375.80. If we had raised their high credit to 1,400, then it would be a couple $100 more available, but they're fine with this. So I don't want to change the contract. It's not a live check. And you can go ahead and open up the contract, go over everything with them. But we'll just say loan docs printed okay, yes. And since we're writing out a check to them, here's the next check number. Check printed okay. You can click that, open up, print it. Yes, it's okay. And we have now renewed a borrower that was already on a loan previous to this loan. So let's go ahead and exit. And always good to exit out of the screens when you're not using them anymore. Go back into today's business, which is the loan register. And Adrian here It shows that refund, amount financed, and then we now have account up on borrow renew. So we've done a new loan, a former borrower, a no cash renewal so that they had to pay, a borrow renewal where they receive cash. Next most common would be an in full payoff if somebody pays off their account completely. So let's take a look at that. Go ahead and exit out, search account, and I'm just going to kind of randomly hit enter, pull up a customer, find one that I can demo them paying off the account. Right now, Alvaria has $300 borrowed, term of 8 months, and it's the fourth time they were lent that amount, fourth loan total. They have a high credit of 600, so they've only actually borrowed half of what they could. They could renew the loan possibly, or right now the settings in the software don't allow for it. They're current. Let's go ahead and say that this person came in to make a payment, and their payoff amount is $316.75 here in green. So they want to make a payment and pay off their entire balance. Payment amount. All right, and cash, okay. And payment receipt, they came in person. PM, payment by mail, but this is in person. And you can click on the receipt, and the receipt will show that payment and that they are a new balance is 0. Print it out, give it to them. Okay, and record saved, and this account has been paid out. Mark on the contract paid in full. So payoff of 0, and they have available to renew at 300. The settings probably limit how soon they can renew to the high credit amount, but right now their high credit is set to 600, so they've done real good, and somebody took their high credit, which is the total amount borrowed up. So this was an example of an in full payoff. So let me go ahead and exit. Take a look back at today's business, and we have IF for in full payoff, and then finance gross, and cash flow, cash collected, net proceeds, check proceeds. Those all count up according to these transactions. So if you need to, you can add these transactions up to get your numbers here that automatically add for you in totals. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other. These are the most common transaction types under loan register, but let's take a look at a couple more. If you go to the training site, it lists all the available options, and if it had a B, it's a renewal, refinance with cash back to borrower. If it has a B, then you've renewed a loan and you've got cash back to borrower, which we already looked at that. Got I for in full payoff loan, new loan, reversed contract. So if you went and made a loan and you reversed that contract, maybe you made a mistake, then it will have Z there. F for form borrow renew, P&L, profit and loss. So if you have somebody that you've, say, charged off and they haven't paid on their account in a while, if you've recovered, if you took a payment for them, then it will show L because you recovered some of that money. P for payment, K for check, money order, ACH, credit card. It's actually not a credit card that you take a payment from somebody. It's here just for familiarity, a card, but it's actually a debit card that you take the payment for them. If you have OTR other, that means it was an online payment that got sent to the software to log that transaction. If somebody had sent in a check by mail and we had chose under the receipt for mail payment, it would have the little asterisk next to the P for payment. A reversal of P&L payoff. So you have a profit and loss and they paid off and you made a mistake, so you reverse that payoff. It'll show J. No cash renewal shows as O, and X in full chargeback. Reverse a payoff. So if you have a payoff and you reverse it, any circumstances that causes a reversal of the payoff, customer writes you a check on the account, it's paid off, check bounces, and you reverse the payoff. You'll have an X. So that is the loan register transaction types in LP3. Thank you very much.